All right, guys, welcome to Digital Marketing 3, Lesson 19. We've covered quite a lot so far, like we've done 18 lessons. As you're aware, we have looked at situation analysis. So we started with situation analysis on lesson 9, if I remember. And when we're doing situation analysis, we discussed that within the digital environment, there are two aspects that we need to look at. We need to look at the wider aspect that we also call the macro environment. So those are the players or the factors that organizations do not necessarily have control over, and they happen within the wider environment. Then we spoke about another aspect of the digital environment, which is the micro environment. So these are the immediate players affecting the trading operations of a company. So we then started focusing on the aspects of the micro environment. We say that they are customers, they are competitors, they are intermediaries, they are suppliers, employees, all those that contribute immediately to the sphere of an organization. We looked at customers, we did customer analysis, we looked at the customer journey, we looked at customer experience. Then we did an exercise applying customer analysis on Wish website, if you can still remember, guys.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, so after we did customer analysis on Wish, we then have competitor analysis. We have done theory on competitor analysis. I told you guys about the 5 Porter forces, the barriers to entry, and so on. So we are still on competitor analysis, and today we are going to do competitor analysis in terms of benchmarking, because we have already looked at the rules of competition. So we are going to do benchmarking. Then after benchmarking, the same way we did with customer analysis, we are going to apply competitor analysis on Shein. Some call it Shein. So we are going to do an exercise on Shein. Then after doing that exercise, we will then go to another aspect of the micro environment, which is intermediaries. So I'm just giving you guys an overview of what we are going to do today. Can I ask you guys, how are you finding this subject so far? Is it challenging? What are your experience with all the 18 lessons that we've done so far?
For me personally, it's challenging, but it's very, very informative, especially from this point of view. You learn so much of what actually happens behind the scenes. So it's very, very informative. Yes, challenging, but I like it.
Okay.
And on my side, since I did marketing, I think it's touching down on things I know, but obviously this one is a bit different and has a lot of information. So it is a bit challenging on having to grasp all the new information, new terms, but I think it's in alignment of what I studied. It's just that this one, it's in the digital side.
Okay. All right. It's great to hear what you guys are saying. Or maybe let's perhaps wait for F1. And if I give you zeros, guys, then you can see, this is not what we thought it was going to be like. Anyway, I'm joking. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So as I said, we are going to continue with competitor analysis. Last week, we spoke about the 5 Porter's forces. I think I put the slides there. Can someone summarize the 5 Potter's forces? What are those?
I think I remember power of suppliers,
Okay, the bargaining power of the supplier.
power of customers,
Yes, the bargaining power of the buyers. Okay,
and
3
yeah,
left.
competition in the industry.
I can't remember that one, but
Okay, I
let's
think
see.
I'll stick to that too. To that too.
We've got the barriers to entry. That's 3. The intensity of the competition. That's 4. Then the last one. It is
Threats of substitute products and services.
yes. Okay. So those are the 5 Potters. So you can always even apply those in your F1. Now we are going to do benchmarking. So guys, do you know what a benchmark is? From a literal English language.
It's like the standard,
Mm-hmm.
the set standard, I think.
Yes, so it's the standards that you set, you know. So for example, you can benchmark this course. You tell yourself that I'm not going to get less than 50%. So the benchmark for yourself for the marks that you need to get for digital marketing means that you want to attain 50 or more. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So with competition, you can also benchmark the levels of competition. Like if I'm to compete with this brand, what is it that I need to look at, that I need to set for myself, that I can always have a competitive advantage over? So there's a formula that we're going to look at, but don't be afraid, guys. This is very interesting. So we continue to exploit the outcomes of microenvironment. So you guys need to be able to evaluate the techniques for reviewing the importance of competitors as part of the development of digital marketing strategy. So competitor analysis, this involves identify the companies that are competing for our business and then reviewing what they are good at, what are their strengths, their weaknesses, what are they planning, where do they want to take the company, and how do they behave when other companies try to take their market share. So as you can see, guys, competition doesn't have to be ugly. Here, these are companies that are competing for business, not competing with business. So you are competing for business. Then a benchmark. So benchmarking is a structured analysis of online services, capabilities, and performance of an organization within the areas of customer acquisition, conversion, retention, and growth. So when you are doing benchmark on the digital marketing environment, you first need to identify the threats. So the threats can be in form of changes to competitor offering. The threats can be in form of the new technologies that the other competitors now using that are giving a competitive advantage over you. Then you need to identify opportunities for enhancing on-company services. And we also need to identify it is also related to developing a customer proposition and brand experience. So these are the things that you need to capitalize on when you're in competition with other brands. So you can benchmark based on internal capabilities, meaning what is it that you have internally in order that allow you, that fuel you, that drive you to compete. So this can be the number of employees that you have, how skilled those employees are, your financial capabilities, like how quick or fast are you able to buy new technologies that can enhance the competition, how agile are you. So these are the internal capabilities that would focus on when you're benchmarking against a competitor. You need to know your strength, how capable are you, can you withstand, can you face competition. Then the second one that you need to look at when is the different aspect of the customer. So I told you guys about the customer life cycle, and we used the RACE model, where R stands for reach. So you need to know how fast and how much is your competitor gaining more customers. Like, what is their reach? How are they reaching the customers? And can you also do the same? On whatever stage of customer life cycle, be it conversion, what is their conversion rate? If it's retention, how many customers are coming back to get more services or products to them than they are coming back to you? So you can look at different aspects of the customer life cycle. You can also have assessments in terms of quality and quantity. You can look at the in-sector competitors and also the out-of-sector competitor. So here you'll be benchmarking against similar sites, all those that are out of the sector. You also need to look at financial versus non-financial measures. So for example, a company can be determined by the prices that it offers to its customers, which is financial, so whether they are cheap or not. But it can also come in terms of value, the value that they are giving their customer, which can be non-financial. Then lastly, you can benchmark against user experience to expert evaluation. So these are the 6 benchmarking techniques that you can use to analyze competition. So competitive ability, this one which covers everything that is here. Competitive ability is determined by 3 things: agility, reach, and time to market. So agility is the speed at which a company is able to change strategic direction and respond to new customer demand. This one is very relevant when it comes to digital marketing, because societies are dynamic, they are completely and speedily changing. The intensity of new technological advancements is also at a pace that was never imagined. So if you are not agile, if you are not flexible, you can always be kicked out of competition. This has happened to Mixit. This has happened to Nokia. This has happened to BlackBerry. You need to check the speed at which you can be able to change strategic direction and respond to new customer demands. Then reach is also important. What abilities do you have to reach customers? Because the more you reach customers, the more the possibility of converting those audience into customers. So the more you reach the audience, the better are the chances of having customers that you can acquire out of the target audience. And reach is not only about the target audience, it can also be around your branding activities. How much are you initiating or are you investing in your brand so that your customers or people in society can start to talk about your brand? Then it becomes earned media. Remember, guys, we spoke about earned media. The more people talk about you, the more you are known, so your reach will be bigger. Then the last one will be time to market. This one is very, very relevant because timing is always significant in digital marketing. If something was supposed to go live this morning, then you missed the schedule. It can never be the same if you release it later, because there can be some other factors that can affect its virality. So if something was supposed to be viral at 9 in the morning, where many people will be online, then you decide not to do it and to do it later when people are asleep, the impact won't be the same. So this also has to do with strategy. Strategy is time sensitive, as you know, guys. So how long it takes to implement a digital marketing strategy, it matters. So in order to gain competitive advantage, you need agility multiplied by reach over time to market. That's the competitive advantage you can have over your competitors. Agility multiplied by reach over time to market. So realize that all those aspects matter. Agility matter. You can never remove the other one, saying that this one, it doesn't matter. Perhaps this one can matter. Guys, do you know what competitive advantage is?
I can try.
Okay.
Competitive advantage is when you don't have what your competitor, when you have what your competitor doesn't have. So
That,
when you, yeah, I think I'll end there.
mhm, that's true. Wanted to add something?
I wanted to just, I think I wanted to give an example.
Mhm,
For example, I analyze my competitors, and let's say I'm selling a wig.
mhm,
I'm selling wigs, and there's something called plugging in a week. So I realized that my competitor does not give plugging. So for them, it requires the customers to go somewhere else after purchasing a wig for them to plug the wig, which is extra
mhm.
cost for the customer. So if I realize that weakness from my customer, and me as a company, I can do that. I feel like that's an advantage because people obviously just want things ready made products.
That's true. So just to add on what you have said, so competitive advantage, it's an attribute that allows a company or a person to outperform competitors. So you are just describing outperformance there. How can you outperform your competitors? So the only way to outperform competitors is to have agility multiply by reach over time to market. Are there any questions or something that you need to add on, guys, about benchmarking based on competitive capability?
Nope.
Okay. Are you cool, Obunolo?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we've got a discussion here. Why should a marketing manager benchmark the online performance of competitors? Everything that I've said, why is it necessary? Why can't we just focus on what we are selling and forget about others?
Can you repeat the question, please, Dr. Banda?
I'm not a doctor yet. I see the faith that you have in me.
So much
I'll,
faith.
I'll make sure that I don't have to drop out. So
Yes.
I'm asking, why should a marketing manager, why should us digital marketing people benchmark the online performance of competitors? So why
Hey,
must we? Mhm,
this is a
okay.
tricky one. This is a tricky one.
Yeah, it is very tricky, especially when people say that I'm not competing with anyone else. So then why must we bother about competition? Why do we have to benchmark, to set benchmarks?
to to set an industry standard. I don't know. Yeah, I'm guessing that's
Okay, let's hear Obunolo's guess. Set an industry standard. Okay.
Sir, can you?
I'm
I,
listening.
I think I lost also the definition of benchmarking. I'm trying to Google it here again to answer the question, but I don't think. Can you please just repeat the definition of benchmarking?
Benchmarking is all about setting standards. So you put a measure on something that you need to assess the effectiveness. I gave you guys an example of you benchmarking your digital marketing marks, saying that I can never get less than 50. So you've set the measure at 50%.
Oh, okay. I think the reason we have to benchmark is because if you don't benchmark, um, you will underperform, or
Okay.
if you don't benchmark, you I feel like benchmarking, it also sets a standard of where you want to be, and it also helps you to even perform beyond that. So I think benchmarking is something that we need to do to keep up with our competitors and also with ourselves as a business or as individuals.
Okay. I get you. So you guys, you are both correct, even though you're guessing and you're not sure with your answers. Razia spoke about setting the industry standards, and Obonolo, to some extent, spoke about setting your own standards. Obonolo, can you please pronounce your name for me, your surname for me?
It's babe.
No, no way.
I thought it was Babe or something.
So my surname is babe.
Is that a real surname or is just a nickname?
It's a surname, sir.
Is it Babe?
It's babe. My
No.
dad is colored.
There's no can. Isn't Babe the babe that we know?
Sir,
Okay,
I'm
that's
telling
cool, eh?
you.
So when someone actually call you babe, you think, oh, it's just being naughty, but it's your surname.
Yeah,
Okay,
no, it is.
all right. Because I was thinking like in Zulu, what's babe mean? All right, at least I had to ask. Okay, guys, so competition is healthy not only for competitors, but also for ourselves. Because with competition, that's where you can actually relearn and set standards for yourself. So you can always improve on your own. Remember, you spoke about the internal capabilities. So if you keep reviewing your own internal capabilities, if you keep telling yourself that you can actually attain more, it means that you are also improving. Think about Apple, how it has improved in terms of its smartphones from iPhone 1 or whatever to where they are now. If it wasn't for competition, they wouldn't be where they are today. Do you think that's true?
Yes, that's
Yes.
true.
Because I feel like sometimes we set standards for ourselves through competition. If there's no competition, we wouldn't know what we are capable of. So it's the same thing that happens in digital marketing. You know, the fact that you're in competition, you don't have to sleep on duty. You don't have to relax. And remember, what is very, very crucial is that you don't want to lose customers because in competition, you can either lose or gain. So if you are losing, it means your competitors are taking a market share from your market. If you gain, it means that you are taking a portion of their customers to your market share. Yes or no?
Um, okay, since you mentioned the iPhone thing, do you
Mm-hmm.
think there's some a thing called like bad not bad competition, but for example with iPhone,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the it's getting unnecessary, the releasing of new phones. it's getting too much. Customers are now complaining of paying for a new module of the phone, but that does most of the things that the previous one does. So is it is there something called like unnecessary? I don't know how to put it, sir, but
I get what you mean, because it was raised by a student during the full-time class, the full-time marketing. You know, the problem with competition, sometimes you end up coming up with features or alternative products that are unnecessary. But they are unnecessary in the eyes of customers, not in the eyes of competitors. Because if you don't do that, a competitor is going to do that and outbid you.
yes, okay, I understand. Thank
So it's
you.
something that needs to be done. Just think about the cameras that smartphones are having at the back of the phones, at the rear cameras. Another phone will come up with one camera, the other one has got three. At the end of the day, we'll end up having in the back of the phone full of cameras. Then you ask yourself, is one not only enough? Then you keep modifying it, having many megapixel. Why are we having so many cameras at the back? So it looks unnecessary, but for competition's sake, it is unnecessary. Though it always kill the customers, because now you need to pay extra. Remember, there's that African proverb that says when two elephants are fighting, the grass or the soil or the ground gets hurt. I don't know if I translated well. Have you guys ever come across that proverb?
No, I haven't.
No.
Okay. All right. You can always find out about it. So benchmarking is necessary because you don't want to lose customers. Customers can always ditch you and go to competitors who are offering better services, online services. And also your name can become unpopular because you are not agile enough. Remember, being agile also means that adopting and adapting to what is happening in societies. So benchmarking actually helps, guys. Even us at individual levels, if you don't set standards for yourself, you always do the same things. You never know your abilities and your capabilities, you know. That's why I would hear people saying that, I've been good enough. Let me try to be a little naughtier. So you want to see the benchmark of how naughty can you be, or I've been naughty enough. Let me try by all means to be good. So those are the standards that you can set for yourself. Oh, okay, I'm doing a diploma. Can I try a Bachelor of Arts or Commerce? You do it, you know. So benchmarking can always give you the ability to try things that you have never thought of trying before. It is a sort of a motivation. If you guys do exercises, do you go to gym, guys?
Yes.
So if you do exercises, you know, you set a standard for yourself that, I'm going to lift 5 kgs today. Then if when you feel you can now lift 5 kg, tomorrow set another standard. Let me try 10. So you see, you keep improving day by day based on the benchmarks that you are having. I don't know if my examples are making any sense.
Yes. In gym terms, it's called progressive overload.
Yes. So you can also do that in competition, but your overload in competition, that's what customers will end up saying that it's so unnecessary.
Ah, okay.
Even the cars, they are just having unnecessary features, guys. Think about every year. You had a Polo that looks like this. It has been added features because if VW doesn't do that, a competitor is going to do it. Okay, can we perform a competitor benchmark for Boston's online learning companies that are trying to build?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, so let's look at one of Boston's competitor that you guys have heard or you've got some idea about.
Should we mention them?
Yeah, I can just mention one institute that you feel like it's a competitor for Boston.
Either Varsity College or AFDA or Vega.
Okay, let's look at Varsity College. Have you ever heard about the online learning capabilities of Varsity College?
No, to be honest.
Okay, so when you're doing a benchmark, of course, you need to know something about your competitor. So, for example, look at the online technologies, because here we are benchmarking against online learning. Look at the online learning that they have, the LSM that they have, the learning system management, and you look at what against what you have, core campus, which one is more effective? Look at the video conferencing that students are having with the institute, and also look at what Varsity College has. Then you compare that. How many are attending and how many are not attending? How easy is it to have online lessons? Is the Varsity College giving out students computers, devices, so that they access online materials? Are they giving them free data? And what is Boston doing? So that's how you compare the capabilities. And if you realize that you are well behind, it encourages you to pull up the socks. If you realize that you are not behind, you are on top of the game, you make sure that you keep uh, inventing so that the gap becomes so huge and your competitor can never catch you. So that was happening at UJ during COVID-19. UJ could give us 30 gig of data. Whether you're attending online classes or not, you get 30 gig. And yes, that has got an impact if VITS is not giving students data at all. If there's someone who wants to enroll, those people, they'll end up going to UJ instead of VITS. It might look like a small thing, but remember, sometimes in life, all these little small things matter because they become huge things.
True.
Do you see how you benchmark against online capabilities for competitors, for Boston and its competitors?
Yes.
Ogunola, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay. Yeah, you guys can leave your phone. Then I'll be talking alone here and you are busy cooking. Anyway, so that's it, guys, about benchmarking. Are there any questions about this lesson?
No questions.
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Let's now move on to lesson 20.